I'd like to start first of all by thanking Michael for everything he's done to help me achieve the visit here. And I have to agree with him on one thing. We only arrived, Carol and I, this afternoon, but he was kind enough to take us to Pam's shop, The Essence of Israel, and I was amazed by what I saw there. I think she needs your support because she's got a wonderful shop. The niceties are over. Now we get to the straight talking. I'm going to talk to you about common sense and truth. And I'm going to talk to you about a completely different aspect of public diplomacy for Israel. It's what I call delegitimizing the delegitimizers. When it comes to viewing the Middle East, people tend to live in a kind of dream world of make-believe. I know because I used to do it. People said, just bring Arafat back to the area and give us peace. We did, and he brought us death and destruction. People said, all you have to do is give the Palestinians a vote and they'll turn into a pragmatic peace partner. They voted, and we got Hamas. People said, just move all the Israelis out of the Gaza Strip and the Palestinians would give us peace. We did, and they gave us rockets. A year ago, the world viewed the upheaval on the Arab street as something positive. They called it the Arab Spring. We in Israel said, you've got your seasons wrong. We were right. It's become the Islamic winter. Now they're telling us that all we have to do is move back to 67 borders and everything is going to be hunky-dory. It won't. You know, maybe Israel gets it and the rest of the world doesn't. The Palestinians portray Israel as anti-peace and themselves as victims of oppression and occupation. And the same misguided, misfortunate world has bought their snake oil. Let's stop the lies. Let's stop the lies of the Palestinian narrative and let's get real. You can't fight for peace if you can't face the reality of what's going on. Otherwise, it's simply wishful thinking. Let's admit one thing from the outset. The Palestinian cause is the biggest fraud in political history. It was started by the Arabs when they rejected two-state solution of the United Nations, a Jewish state and an Arab state. And let's not forget, at that time at the United Nations, it wasn't a Palestinian state, it was an Arab state. It continued after they lost 5 aggressive wars against Israel. And they decided then to change the narrative from the Arab-Israeli war into the Israel-Palestinian conflict. It was taken up by Arafat in his reign of violence and terror. It's been adopted by the far left. They're extremists who have made the Palestinians their poster child and dressed it up in liberal clothes designed to appeal to the kings of human rights. But the king is naked. Newt Gingrich said that the Palestinians are an inventive people. I think he's been reading my book, Israel Reclaiming the Narrative, especially pages 149 to 152. And I'll quote just 3 examples of what was said, not by the Jews, not by the Israelis, but the Arabs themselves. I'll start, for instance, and there's lots to choose from here, with a guy called Asmi Bashara. He was a member of the Israeli Knesset for the Arab parties, and he had to escape Israel on treason charges. And he said in a TV interview, and I quote, "There is no Palestinian nation, it's a colonial invention. Where were there any Palestinians?" Now, if that's not good for you, I'll move over to Yasser Arafat himself in 1970. In an interview with an Italian journalist, he said, and I quote again, "The question of borders doesn't interest us. Palestine is nothing but a drop in an enormous ocean. Our nation is the Arabic nation." This is Yasser Arafat speaking. "The PLO is fighting Israel in the name of pan-Arabism. What you call Jordan is nothing more than Palestine." And then we move on to